This is a short video of some of the new features we're adding to our gauges coming in January. This particular video is shot in a Mustang, so this pertains to Ford vehicles, and this new code will work on the newer 2011 and up Fords. We'll migrate it over to GM vehicles as well as Chrysler after that. And some of these features are already available in some of the import gauges. To start with, the gauge has all the old functions that you're familiar with. For example, this is the standard scan mode you're familiar with. But we've added some features such as a peak recall. I'm going to rev the motor up a little bit. To access the peak recall, just hit both buttons and you'll see the screen invert and show the peak value. I'll show that again. Pretty simple way of seeing what your peak values are. That could be handy watching temperatures like IAT2 temperatures or knock retard or any value that may be getting to a high level that you want to be able to review. Now beyond that, we've added some other screens. These screens consist of a scrolling plot of 2 parameters, a bar graph of 4 parameters, and an 8 parameter screen. To access these, you must be in normal scan mode, and you press and hold both buttons, go past the peaks until you see multi-screen, and now you'll go into this is the scrolling plot, for example, and right now it's showing 2 parameters, one digitally displayed on the top left and one on the top right here. The top left parameter is shown as a solid line. I'm going to go down to this bottom display here and it's a little easier to see. I've got RPM on the bottom or on the left here, which is a solid, and as the RPMs go up, you'll see that line change. And then the single line here is the second parameter. That's the top right parameter, which currently is showing intake air temp 2, which is post intercooler temps. Now if we hit this left button, we'll go to this is the multi-screen. Now this is going to show 8 parameters, and these 8 parameters are the same ones that you've chosen in cyclic scan setup. So when you go into cyclic scan, you're also choosing the parameters that are going to be shown on this multi-screen mode. And the bar graph mode is shown here, showing 4 parameters. These are the first 4 that were selected in cyclic scan. The live plot are the first 2. And there is another feature about this plot. You can freeze it by hitting both buttons, and you can do that to review it and study it when you've got time to take your eyes off the road, and then you can hit both buttons to continue it in the live graph mode. Now there is an exception here. I'm going to go back into normal scan mode by hitting the right button. If you press and hold these 2 buttons even longer, you go past the peak value multi-screen, and it says graph these. Now you've replaced the first 2 parameters that you've chosen in cyclic scan with the first 2 the parameters that you just were looking at in normal scan mode. That allows you to see different things on this plot or on the bar graphs. Now the first 2 bar graph parameters are different. They're the same 2 we saw in cyclic scan, normal scan mode, and the benefit is you don't have to go back in cyclic scan and reprogram those first 2 parameters. If you don't want to see what you've previously programmed, just press and hold those 2 buttons longer, and you'll see what's on the screen. I'm going to go back and review this. Push both buttons, and you'll see I held them too long. Push both buttons for the peak value, press and hold longer till you see multi-screen. And now you're in the live plot mode, where you can scroll through the different, the three new screens. And you may also notice we've got new bezels. These are carbon fiber bezels. These will be available too in January of 2015. Well, that summarizes what we've added for these gauges, and you'll notice these are very useful, and the older gauges can be reflashed by sending them here to include these new features.